What's up, student, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so happy to meet you again and to welcome you again on this channel. I know this is a while I don't do any video because honestly the last 2 months I was so busy with a different type of things about the bakery, obvious. So I will help also for opening a bakery shop in Malaysia on March. I was also a judge for the competition, bread competition in China on March also. And last month I was flew in France, Paris, but also in the southeast to meet some friend and discover also a very good area about raw material, but also about equipment. Some like a wood fire oven from Ephraim. If you listen this video, cœur sur la main. Very good people and a very good person. And honestly, today, if I can do everything same like this one, this is because you helped me to create a good community. You helped me to reach new people, and you are a lot of students and person to contact me on social media to ask me anything obvious about the bakery and about the bread making, but also about the bread journey and how to be a baker, how to change also a new career from to begin and switch to the bakery. So I'm very proud to develop this one with you and to be a part of your journey too. So today we talk about the mixing type. So is a big subject, but it will be fine to discuss with you. If really you like this stream and if you like this content, thumbs up and subscribe and also share this content. Let's go. So overall, we discuss about the mixing type because the mixing type is directly connected with the gluten development. The gluten development, this is from the mixing and what you give the stress of your gluten texture. So in French baking, we have three type of mixing. One, this is a slow speed, PVL, so pétrissage vitesse lente. Second, this is a medium speed, PA, so pétrissage amélioré. And third, this is a high speed, PI, pétrissage intensif. So first, the slow speed, this is about very low speed. So that means even you can do by hand. We don't have any kneading. We don't give any tension of this mixing. We incorporate over 5 to 10% of oxygen into the dough, and we have a gluten development very low or even medium, not very high, but we preserve the full nutriment from the raw material, the very high nutriment preservation. So nutriment, what is vitamin, lipid, or even mineral content into your raw material. So that means you will use premium raw material, same as your flour, same as your mineral water, same as your salt, sourdough, or yeast, and you want to keep and preserve this high nutriment. You purchase or you made it, this nutriment, you want to keep it for your customer, but also into your bread. So that is very important. And for that, this slow speed method is very best to keep all nutriment into your bread. So first you will start by the TB high temperature, so over 65 to 70% of your water, your temperature. And because why? Because we don't knead or mix a long time, so automatically the dough we need to be a little bit warm to help the fermentation and to help the boost of your strain. So fermentation or use will play a lot for your structure. And during this bulk fermentation, you will start to have good development, flavor development, taste development. So it's very important to keep the high temperature. approximately 26 to 28 degree to help. And during the bulk fermentation, you will give a fold, okay? Approximately 5 times of the fold every hour. So I will give you on a guideline, a general guideline, after depends the recipe as you find on your book or online, all right? So during the slow speed, what you will do, you will just knead for mix for a few time, all right? And after, during the first hour at 15 to 20 degree, you will let in a bulk and you will give a fold. And after that, you let over 15 hours into the bulk fermentation at 15 to 18 degree, because we want to develop the fermentation, to give a strain, and to give a fold also, help to dispatch very well the yeast, okay, and also to give a good strain into your dough. So again, this is a method easy to use, but hard to master. Why? Because you need to control the fermentation, pay an eyes, be near of your dough. You cannot leave after do your batch. You need every hour to do one fold almost 3 times or even 5 times, depend your flour, depend your quantity of water, depend your yeast, depend your recipe. And you will have very good development at the end, because why? At the end, you will have a crumb, very creamy, a little bit dark creamy, because you don't add too much oxygen. Remember, the oxygen, what could be happen, will be gain white crumb at the end. So less on oxygen, you will catch the nutriment, same as I mentioned first, but also you will have very creamy and dark creamy into your crumb. And your crust will be a little bit thick, even a little bit dense thick. So when you cut, when you crush, it will be very crunchy, but also very melty at the end. So that means when you cut a slice of your bread, you have very nasty flavor, and you will have very crunchy and melty into your mouth. It's a banger for your bread, banger for your mouth, and banger for your customer. So is a best option to do a bread today, especially a log bread or a big mass bread over than 1 kg or 500 grams. Even you can do baguette with, is perfect. Okay? But again, easy to do, hard to master, because you need to careful on every step. Second, we have the medium speed P high. So P high is a PA, is pétrissage amélioré. And on this moment, you will have very less on oxygen, but a little bit more than the slow speed. So around 50 to 25% of incorporation of oxygen. Standard gluten development, you will be not high, not very medium. It will be a very standard at this moment. And you will have a medium nutriment preservation inside your bread. So that means at the end, you will have a creamy, little bit light of a crumb, because you don't add too much oxygen, but more than pétrissage vitesse lente. And also, you will have a little bit thick crust, but less than pétrissage vitesse lente. But again, you will have very nasty taste, flavor, and when you cut a slice, you will have into your mouth a crunchy and melty texture. So it's very good, and also is very easy and not too hard to master, because why? At this moment, when you finish your mixing and your kneading, so basically this is 6 or 7 minutes on a second speed, depend your recipe, depend your quantity, depend your speed of mixer again. At this moment, you will let 1 hour of bulk fermentation, you will give one fold, and after that, you will let into the fridge overnight for the bulk fermentation. Some that with the fridge, you will control the fermentation. The fermentation will be little bit low, but will have a good effect. And because you had a little bit more oxygen into, that affect again the cells development. So for that, it's better to let into the fridge to don't have very fast fermentation. And again, you preserve a good nutriment and have a medium or high gluten development. Again, depends the protein and content into your flour. So this one and this mixing type now is very common and used into the production for the bakery shop in France. Because why? Because the baker can manage easily the production value, the quantity. You know, he can take a box by box, divide, pre-shape, shape, proofing, and baking at the same time. And also during the day, you can continue to divide and pre-shape and shape. So for that, it's very common and is more better than to do directly one full batch of your production. And after, if you don't sell, you need to throw even in PF, you need to do again one by one. So it's more easy to have directly box by box for the production value. And at the end, you have the high speed. So P high. So P high, this is pétrissage intensif. At this moment, you will incorporate 30 to 50% of oxygen inside. So automatically during the mixing time, you have too much oxygen. So also too much friction, your dough started to warm up. So that will affect directly the temperature of the dough and at the end, the fermentation, because the yeast will react to the temperature, but also the oxygen anaerobic. Remember? So at this moment, you will have very high gluten development and you will be very low on preservation of nutriment. So that means you can use very premium flour, very premium raw material. You do your own sourdough. If you don't pay attention and you use the PI method, automatically you will lose the nutriment. And at the end, your bread will be a little bit untasty. So that means no high flavor. When you will cut, the crumb will be very dense and white, and the crust very thin and crumbly. If you want to understand what is this bread, this is the same as sandwich bread of the Vietnamese. You know, when you go to the Vietnamese restaurant, you have a sandwich sometime, and inside the bread, this is exactly same. This is a bread with very white crumb, very crunchy and crumbly. Obvious after you do sandwich, so automatically it can be tasty, but the bread, in fact, by himself is not tasty. You know, alors why they use this one? This is because after the colonization from France in Vietnam and north of this part of area and region, we have on 60 this baguette, and they started to develop this baguette and they like it and they continue to produce even after many years. And even in France, we stopped to use this production because in France we use this production after the World War II during 60, 70, even 80. And after on 90, we started to develop pétrissage amélioré, medium speed, with inclusion of sourdough. And we started to decrease step by step, same like this one, until we arrive on 2020. And now we use most of time the pétrissage vitesse lente for the small batch or even pétrissage amélioré for the bakery shop. So what is important to understand, this is also the temperature. Same like I mentioned first for the pétrissage vitesse lente, we have TB around 65 to 60 to 70% of degree. Sorry, to 65 to 70 degree. And medium speed will be 55 to 60 degree because we want a warm temperature of water, but not too much. And high speed will be around 50 to 55. Again, when you do your temperature of base, you take your flour, your water, and your room temperature. And with this one, you will start to do your temperature of base. All right. That is very important because even I can give you one temperature of base, or even the recipe can give you the temperature of base. Is at you to manage this temperature, because even I can say, okay, this is a TB at 50. If it's too hot in your room or your bakery room, automatically you need to decrease this amounts. So again, because when you play with the temperature, you play with your cells yeast development, even if it's pseudo, even if it's biological, but Saccharomyces, it will be directly developed by the temperature, obvious the sugar content, and obvious by the oxygen. So if you have more oxygen, it will be boost. If you have more temperature, it will be boost this fermentation. And if you compare with the pétrissage vitesse lente, if you are less on oxygen, less on temperature, automatically it will be a little bit more slow for proofing. So for that, you need to let more time of proofing than compare pétrissage intensif. If you do baguette with pétrissage intensif, after 30 minutes, you can start to divide, and even you can start to pre-shape and shape, and because the fermentation is too fast and to control will be very hard. Now, what we use mostly on bakery, we use medium speed for the baguette or bread because it's good and regular for the production value. Even if you have a small batch or even you have a homemade bakery, you can use pétrissage vitesse lente. That is very common and easy to use. And pétrissage intensif, at this moment, we use mostly for the enriched dough or layer yeast dough because we want a very strong tension. And even we are low on a nutriment, it will be fine because inside we had more sugar, more fat, and sometimes we include some drops, some anything inside some other topping or raw material. So at the end, we don't need to be worried about this one. We want very high gluten development. So for that, when you do that, you need to consider which type of mixing you will use during your production value. And at the end, you will control your fermentation and you will control your production about the mixing type you use. So mixing type will play for your gluten development, your texture, but also for your flavor and taste of the production. Next time, I will do one video because a lot of you and a lot of students ask me about the temperature or to control the temperature, which temperature using for which bread. So next time I will talk about this one so that it will be understood to progress step by step for the bread making. Same as, okay, today we do that. Today we control the fermentation. Today we control the mixing. Today we control the texture, etc., etc. That is very important to understood. All right. So, guys, I hope again this video help you a lot or help you to understood the mixing type. Honestly, I was so happy to restart this streaming. Alors, why the streaming? Because this is my third time I restarted to do this streaming because I don't know, YouTube have some bugs today. I don't know from my home. Maybe the online doesn't work well. But to be honest, to do the video is good because I can do many video first and after upload. But the uploading is so long. It's a nightmare. For me, it's a nightmare. I put over than 30 hours to upload from China to YouTube. So I prefer to avoid this one. I know the streaming could be a little bit laggy when you have the video, but at the end, you can listen just my voice, same as a podcast, because my voice doesn't have any cutting or any lag. So is the best for you maybe to learn during your cooking time, even before to whatever you do during the day, you drive or something. You can listen just my voice as a podcast, will be fine. The whiteboard is just here to explain you and to have some tips. If sometime, because some teacher also ask me to link the whiteboard, no problem. I can link every tool and every asset I create. I can link with anyone who need, you know. So we create one community, and with this community who grew up day by day and month by month, and I'm so proud about that. This is for helping. It's not for a catch only for me. No, it's okay. We are here for help. We are here for delivery what we can and help each other to increase and rise the bread journey and your bread making. So, guys, again, I'm so happy to welcome you for this stream. By the way, last things, I develop. Alors, attends, hop. One. Yep. On va faire ça comme ça. On est bon. Yes, one bread book. So the 3TS test, texture, and training. So what is the 3TS? The 3TS is my new book release about last month on 15 April. So soon it will have one month release. And this is my philosophy about the bread. So my philosophy about the bread, this is what? Test first. The test is important. We saw today about the bread making. You see the mixing, the pétrissage vitesse lente or pétrissage amélioré. You should conserve the test of your product. If you don't have the test, the customer don't back. And even if you do bread at home and the bread doesn't have test, people will eat, maybe because it's your family, we say, it's cool, but they will not bet again. You know? Me, what I like to do, this is when I do demo sometime or when I do new product, when I cut different slice, people bet one time. But if people bet twice, say, okay, the product match. And if you take more and more, I say, okay, c'est bon. The recipe is done. I don't need to change anything because I know the people love it. This is exactly same like for this one. I design all product by the test. Second things, this is the texture. Texture, this is what we saw. The gluten development, the laying, because on this book I focus about the layers yeast dough, or even the raw material you use could be crunchy, could be a little bit soft, whatever. But the texture match with the test. And at the end, the training. But the training, same like I say, this is not only to have a very fancy shaping. Obvious, you can. But this is also about the raw material you use, if it's near of not of your area where you live. Could be about the plant base, could be about wellness, you know, everything same like this one could be a training. And the trend is not only about I follow what could be on Instagram. No, this is about what you do because you want to sell this one to your customer. You want to sell this spirit to the people. So you have the link below this video. You can reach on a Google Play Store or even on my e-platform. Anything, even if you want, contact me directly and I can sell. Until now is only on ebook, on English version and French version because a lot of people ask me on French. And we started to translate in Chinese. So this year we will be translating in Chinese. And we try to do a hard copy, but until now, because of the budget and we are a small, we start. So until now is only on ebook, but I hope it can help a lot of people. He don't focus only on the recipe. He focus also for theory, same like a theory craft of layer yeast dough, enriched dough, fermentation, texture, control of fermentation, and also the sourdough. So you can see a different batch of this one. And this is a recipe I use usually for my demo or something. So it will be, and hope it will helpful for you. So if you are very interested, you can find it. And hope it will be good for you to find this one. So up it again. Voilà. So students, hope you enjoyed this streaming. Again, if you want to reach me out of any social media, anything, you can reach me and I will be happy to discuss with you. Keep in touch. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.